Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst Live special with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by Generals Joe's Reborn.com. And it's an unboxing tonight, even though we've had a little bit of news. Excuse me. But I thought we've kind of covered the movie stuff very, very recently. That thing I've just posted about Lorenzo de Bonaventura. And it doesn't really give us a lot more, does it? So I figured, you know what? Now let's keep with the unboxing. And it's Hawk tonight, so I want to stay on track. And if any other information does kind of come out movie wise, maybe we can talk about it tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Hope everyone's doing well at the moment. Everyone in the chat, who we got? Jedi Ben, the Real Zim, Derek, Hollerman, Mr. Roper, Anything Joe's, hello, Tim Pedersen, Chris G, and FC Viper. Hello, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Even if you're not in the chat, even if you're not saying anything, even if you're just lurking, watching, enjoy, whatever it may be, I hope you're having a very good Monday. President's Day as well, right? I think it was a holiday. I have no idea. All the days are the same to me now, unfortunately. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Paisano. Excuse me. Why am I coughing all of a sudden? Yes, hit that like button, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, whatever it may be. Go nuts, please and thank you. We're looking at Hawk today. So, like, yeah, let's not stand on ceremony, even though it's the boss. The boss is here. Look, act busy. Let's get on with it. Pow, yes. So, Hawk in classified series. Now, I usually give some preface, don't I, where I talk for ages about what the figure meant to me, the original figure, and all that kind of stuff. I'll still do that. That's not going to change. General Hawk. Now, he was an interesting one. He was always a like saw, heard, but never had sort of scenario as a kid. So I remember when the first General Hawk that I was aware of, this particular version, I say 80, it might be 88 in the UK. I think it was 87 or 88. I think it was 88. I don't remember Hawk being in the first group of or the first wave of international heroes figures. I just will double check on that one. But he was one of those ones. I remember seeing this particular figure, obviously in the cartoon. He was very prominent. He was in a couple of the monthly issues as well. So it would have been later on in the timeline. It probably wouldn't. It was certainly not 87. I'm almost certain it was 88. And I am right. Yes, he was obviously it was just Hawk. And he came out in 1988 in the UK on International Heroes card. This is like Let's Talk Classified Hawk, isn't it? But what was interesting to me was just the fact that this was one that, like I said, I didn't get the opportunity to have as a kid. Yeah, I'm talking about the United Kingdom guys, not in the United States. Of course, he came out much earlier in the United States. What was interesting is he was James M. Abernathy was his file name on the UK card, and he was born in Warminster in England. Isn't that hilarious? I really do love how the UK International Heroes just decided, let's give them all different birthplaces, change the names ever so slightly. Clayton obviously was not UK enough, so he got James M. Abernathy. Amazing. Anyway, so like I said, he was one of those ones I saw I remember on the in like the kind of product leaflet we would get in the UK. You'd get like the lineup of figures all lined up on like the little rocky diorama sort of thing, and Hawk was in there, and I was always like, oh man, that's Hawk. I really want that figure so bad. Never found him. Not until like later years, obviously. So this is one that I've always had that sort of like massive affection for, but and nostalgia, but never actually held that figure as a kid, and it really upset me because I wanted this one so bad. And yeah. And the interesting thing, I mean, it was only like what, the removable helmet, the backpack, and the pistol. That was it, wasn't it, that he came with? So it wasn't like you didn't actually get like absolutely covered in accessories. I thought the backpack was interesting because it wasn't. I don't think it was necessary. There's only one figure you wasn't necessary to have a backpack with, and they gave it to him. And also the fact that on the card, this is really fun as well. I'll show you on the screen. It said Action Force Commander under his name. Obviously, it would, because it was an Action Force International Heroes card. But it was the fact that, you know, like, obviously that is like much longer on the card as well and everything. I just absolutely love it. Anyway, so I was really into this, really happy that they did him for Classified. And yeah, cannot wait to get stuck into this one. But first, we shall look at all of the wonderful art on display on this one. So we've got that render at the front on here, which contains so many like homages and cheeky little kind of nods. Obviously, there's the huge HQ in the background, but I quite like that Classified-esque version of it. It's still the HQ that we know and love, with that kind of ramp, almost like ramp or ramped garage door, which opens up and they all kind of come flooding out of it. But look in the background, you see you got the Cobra stun on one side, rapidly moving, so it's got a bit blurry. And then just through his legs, you can see the Triple T. Doesn't actually look like the Sarge is driving it either. It could be anybody really, but I think they've done it on purpose. They've made it a little bit ambiguous so that you're not really sure what's going on. Blurred it out quite a lot actually. But it's really cool to see both of those vehicles in the background, as well as that little kind of addition. They've got General Hawk version, whatever it is, 3, 4, 4. It's 4, isn't it? I think, because we've got the Talking Battle Commanders first, maybe. But yeah, you've got that one in the background. Now that's General Hawk, but this is also General Hawk. So what's going on? Crazy pants. I actually got a notification. The algorithm gods have noticed. Brilliant pass. I'm glad. Jeremy's first Hawk was the Talking Battle Commander. Awesome. That was a good one as well, actually. I quite like that kind of hat. The deco was interesting. The design in general was really cool. It was awesome to have that one. This V2 of Hawk, yes, iconic action force. Iconic AF, Jeremy, indeed. 87 in the States, says Jedi Ben. Yep. Or was it 86 actually, wasn't it? I want to say, yeah, it was 86. 86 in the US, 88 in the UK. And that's only because they were focusing on like the figures in 87 that you could see on the show and in the comics and stuff like that. So yeah, there was a definite, they were holding back a few figures for the next wave the next year. Now, what else have we got going on? So obviously the render has given us quite a lot of fun little kind of homages and bits and pieces. Is it necessarily them saying we're getting a stun and a Triple T? No, but let's face it, those two vehicles I think are doable in their new vehicle outlook on the Classified series. So not obviously, I think those two are prime targets for Classified releases. Not that I think this is an indication of it happening anytime soon, but I just, I like the fact they've thrown them on there. And again, if you look at this particular homage, the stun, the Triple T, the HQ, General Hawk, not necessarily that General Hawk, that's more Deke era, but like that whole background effectively is a huge callback to Arise Serpentor Arise when they get attacked by Cobra. And they even in fact, Hawk even mentions at one point the stuns being quicker than the hiss tanks, but not packing as much of a punch. In terms, like they were confused as to why the stuns were being deployed when they didn't have, the hiss tanks out there. So there's a real comment made in that scene, and obviously that scene is just a ton of stuns, battle android troopers, the Sarge, and a load of Joes, and one of those Joes obviously is General Hawk. Plays a big role in that particular 5-parter, by the way. So yeah, awesome stuff. Now, of course, we have, so yeah, just kind of saying, I think that is more a call back to a Rise Spencer or Rise in the background is what I'm getting at, with a little deek thrown in there as well, just for good measure. A little deek. Sorry, I've just eaten and I'm still finding food in my teeth. And then of course we've got the beautiful artwork on the side there. Again, I feel like that's Oliver Barrett. I recognize those kind of like shading lines. That the use of color is very Oliver Barrett, and I apologize if it's not, and it's someone else, but I really like that. And again, it's a really good likeness of the figure. The actual figure looks, I mean, it is spot on. I'm really excited to get into this. Really excited. Great figure. Wish he came with binoculars and some type of radio communication device. Actually, that would have been kind of fun, wouldn't it, Johnny? Especially considering he is artillery and radar specialists. Artillery primary and radar secondary. But yeah, a little deek. I'm shocked Kitty didn't say that. Well, yeah, you guys can fill that in for me every now and again, Kitty said. Maybe HasLab HQ. Chris, I don't think it is indicative of what to expect in the future necessarily, but I have said so many times, although I think a classified HQ would be ridiculous. Like, it would be huge. I don't even think they could do it on, I don't think it'd be really difficult to do for classified. O-ring, 100%. Just make it bigger than the original and more like intricate. Maybe have a roof. Maybe do lots of other stuff to it. Maybe sunbowize the cannon and the front entrance. Kitty said, and just allow for way more features for like the kind of O-ring 4-inch kind of sizes, and I think that would be really awesome. Classified though, that would be mental. Python stun, I would be all over it like a hobo on a ham sandwich. Nice one, Jeremy. Yeah, I agree. I think a stun, Python stun, either of those I'd be into. I think, and they could do that probably at retail, a stun. I don't think it would necessarily have to be a HasLab. Serious question: do we think that Hasbro's current financial woes will negatively affect future vehicle or bigger budget releases? Not Jedi Ben, when GI Joe is one of their tent poles at the moment. GI Joe is one of the. In fact, GI Joe and Transformers, I think, were the only shining lights in that entire situation. So I would probably suggest that you'll only see it going from strength to strength to answer that question, honestly. Or you'll probably just see it maintaining this kind of like very solid level of releases. And I mean, they're already talking about expanding the line, and we've already seen listings that insinuate even more sort of sublines, so or at least price points. So yeah, it is a serious question, and it is a valid question, and it is one that, like, I don't have all the answers at all. But if you're asking my opinion, I would suggest that Joe is probably safe in that scenario, basically because it's just it is one of the leading kind of things that they have at the moment, brands. 35 watching now and only 12 likes. Step it up, guys. I can only see 5, but I can't refresh my page. So but the thing is, I should see what is happening, like on a live kind of situation. I shouldn't have to refresh anything. Plus, if I did, then you'd lose the stream and it wouldn't make any sense, would it? But yeah, definitely like the video, or even, yeah, go onto YouTube and subscribe to us. That'd be great if you haven't already, please and thank you. Hello, Future Fortress Maximus. Didn't even mention Peppa Pig, which is why they went for E1, I believe. Yes, Jeremy, they still have that. You're right, and they didn't mention it in the thing. But they haven't really. I don't think they've done anything with it. I don't think it's one of those ones that they kind of almost have, but don't necessarily have anything active or anything that really changed for them. I don't know. It's weird. I don't really follow that stuff. Like, I don't really know what's going on in that kind of arena of like animation or TV. So I don't know what the kind of current structure is. If they make a classified version of the Triple T, I hope that the treads articulate and aren't static like Scrap Iron's vehicles. I don't think they would. I think they probably would be articulated treads if they did it, Wilfredo. The Scrap Iron's drone is about 30 times smaller, or would be. So I don't think the two really are indicative of comparison. Anyway, General frickin' Hawk. So he's actually down as General Clayton Hawk Abernathy, or James Abernathy. I'm just kidding. That's just the UK version. And if you came in late, that's what happened. I would take the sticker off, but I don't want to. So we can only see some of the things he comes with, including a lot of goggles, just all goggles. He's just full of goggles. We have the QR code that leads to nowhere, and of course his basically his abilities, which should all, really should all be like level 4s if you ask me. General status by the looks of things, because it's that it's the stars. So commander maybe. Artillery is the third one, I believe, and tactics is the last one, tactician. So I don't know. I always forget what the is that like. Is that I can't remember what the bullets one is. Is it just like small arms or something? I can't remember. Anyway, this is me never doing my homework. Then we have 6'3". Oof, tall, isn't he? My height. Actually, I'm 6'4". Then you got the helmet, you've got the goggles, you've got the other goggles, a couple of pistols, and a shotgun and a rifle, or 2 shotguns. I think they're probably a bit shotgunny, both of them, aren't they? Still really cool. And then he's got the Yojo patch, which is actually, I like that. That's fun. Should say full force though, really. And really, I mean, come on, guys. And then of course his helmet, Kitty said, and head sculpt, really, technically. Right. Anything else I need to really point out? Oh yeah, the artwork on much bigger. I always forget that. Much bigger artwork on the side and absolutely beautiful. I think Oliver Barrett, it just has that kind of shading and use of like scratch lines and stuff like that. It's just beautiful artwork. I love his work. And 103 is the number of the beast. Right, let's cut this one open. I'm super excited for this one. Low-key I've put like Nunchuck last, but only because it was like, I wanted to do the wave sort of figures first, and so I wanted to kind of make sure the wave was done at the same time, and so I've kind of done that with Helix and the other ones, or the other one. I think I only got 3 of the 4 wave actually. I can't remember now. It's been so long. It's been right. So I'm open. I'm in. Let's go with the weapons crate first. Whoop. My goodness, that's a lot of text. That was the lot of text bell that I just alarmed there. General Clayton Hawk Abernathy. Again, it should say James on there, shouldn't it? 103. Got the Joe logo on that side, and 103 on there as well. Okay, we've seen it before. We know what we're dealing with. There's going to be some sort of comment about the legal gumph, but it's there, look. And we've got the crisps every time. Let's get stuck into a bag of crisps/chips. Okay, we're in. I really am excited about this one because this, again, like I say, I love the character, love the figure. I always like the fact that Hawk was like the no-nonsense, I'll join you in the heat of the battle, even though I'm supposed to be doing... Like you could tell that the actual military wanted him nowhere near the battlefield, and he's just like, he's almost like another version of Duke in that sense. Like Duke's always been like, I don't care what you do, you can keep promoting me, but I'm always going to be leading the troops, sort of thing. And I kind of like it how Hawk would show up sometimes, like in that episode when Lifeline, Dial Tone, and Shipwreck get promoted, but Cobra go in and change all of the computer promotions, and they promote those 3 to like, commanders of G.I. Joe or Action Force, depending on what episode W we're watching. And Hawk turns up, like he's in a jet. I think he's with someone else, and he ejects out of the jet to like parachute land on the roof of the HQ, and the jet with the other pilot just keeps flying off, and I'm like, dude, you've just ejected the friggin' canopy, and you've left the pilot on his own with no canopy to what, land the bloody thing. Nice one. I love that. I thought that was really hilarious. I'm if there isn't a pilot in there, I just remember there being a pilot in there. I've watched it very recently, so I can't believe I can't remember. If not, it's even funnier if he's just crashed like millions of dollars worth of jet just to parachute quickly onto the roof of the HQ. Anyway, there's his helmet, Kitty said, with 1 star on it. He's a 1-star general. There's actually a little bit of there's some nice detail on this. There's like a little dent on the front there, so it looks like he's taken a bullet to the old helmet. Little kind of bit of detailing on the sides as well, like kind of little rectangle detailing. Some scratches, some what look to be rivets, ribbit, and then of course the little straps on the side. Very nice. And then the back's a bit smooth. Got another little ding in the back as well, actually, a couple of scratches as well. Very nice. Then we have this little pistol. It's a nice one, isn't it? Lots of cool detail on that one. We may have seen it before, but I don't recall or remember. But it looks really nice. That is a nice, solid pistol there. We've got this one as well. Another nice little pistol he's got there. Is this the kind of special one with the star on it? Yeah, I kind of like almost like, you know, his he got it as almost like, what do you call it, when he got like promoted, like they gave him this in a little case. That'd have been nice, wouldn't it? A little velvet case with a little star on it, just to be with one of the pistols in, as if it was awarded to him when he got his star. Anyway, then we have the exterior top goggles. Pretty straightforward. Kind of goggles on there. A little bit of textural like lines on the actual strap, but I believe that just pops on top of the helmet, like so. And obviously, you kind of like shows, so it still shows off the star. I like that. That's a nice bit of design there, so that when you put the goggles on, the star still shows between where the nose would be on the goggles. That's really cool. I like that. Yep, goes on there nicely. No issues on that one. Doesn't feel like it's going to do a Viper on us. And then we have another set of goggles to actually wear, which are smaller. You know, your classic maneuver, your classic classified maneuver. We then have what? Oh, there's like a little. Oh, I suppose that's just where that's just where the kind of cock back to put the bullet in, I guess, or the shell in. But we've got this beauty as well, and like I said, it's got a little bit of a warp on it. Can you see that? A little bit of a warp. Not much I can do about that one. Maybe I'll just, put some heat and try and bend it back. But there's like a little. Can you see that little notch? So that's like obviously where you pull it back to put the old shell in, kind of thing. So that's kind of fun. I like that. I don't think it's going to attach to anything, but we'll see. No, I don't think it will. I think it's just extra detail. And then we've got this beauty with the strap kind of launcher. So it's like a shotgun and a launcher that he comes with. Again, like nice bit of kit he's given there. You're in for a treat. I think he was one of the best classified figures for 2023, says Darth. Thank you, Darth. Again, I've said it before, but I am very excited with this one. What's up? Here's one of my faves in the entire line. Nice one, Eduardo. Hello, Chaz. Same way like Wolf Spider, they change Hawk hands from Outback for Tomac. Same hands. The render and promo pics have Outback hands too. Interesting. I never noticed these changes ever. That's a great episode, says Paisano. General repaint has arrived. Hello, Neil. With the EXT mag, says Paisano. General Hawk in the comics not believing Duke bothers me. I don't remember that. Gummy weapons will be the death of the classified line. Yeah. Chris, have you ever done any unboxing of Super 7 Ultimates? Yes, Mike, I did the first wave and I did Red Jackal and Red Knock Baroness You can probably search for those on our channel if you care. If you care. Then of course we have Hawk himself. Oh, he's as good as I was expecting to find him. That doesn't make any sense, but yeah, he looks great. Oh, he looks fantastic. So there he is. Oh, isn't he beautiful? Love the hair, the little Reed Richards, a little bit of grey in there. The jacket's gorgeous. Abernathy there, look. All of the bits and bobs. The jacket looks really nice. Got a nice shine on the jacket as well, like it's actually real leather. It's not. That little bit at the bottom of the jacket, which is like that elasticated bit, which is it's almost like a fleecy elasticated kind of belt part on the bottom of the jacket that I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. Then obviously the belt, which is great. The deck on the pants is nice. Obviously like kind of all green knee pads, and then the boots. No, he looks great. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm so excited. And he's got the annoying. Oh no, actually no. He's got the ones that just break off when you pull them. Yeah. These are easy. These are actually the easy plastic ones. It's the other one that I had an issue with that had me like taking about an hour getting the thing out of the box. But look how quick that was. All done. Beep. And there is the beautiful black and white artwork. Again, I think it's Oliver Barrett. I'll just say that every single time, and eventually I'll be right, I guess. But yeah, lovely stuff. Now, oh yeah. Oh, this is if you could see my berries right now, they'd be buzzing. This is a very awesome figure. Oh yeah, I'm into this one. Yeah, I'm down. Sold. I mean, he's already mine, so I don't have to buy him again. But yeah, this is phenomenal. Let's get him in a cool little action pose so that we can start gearing him up, and also talk about all of these different parts. Now, he's got a bit of a stiff elbow there, but no, it goes eventually with a little bit of gentle TLC. General friggin' Hawk. This is a very satisfying figure, in my opinion. Design-wise, let's do that. Design-wise and just in general, Hawk. A really solid figure already. The head sculpt is phenomenal. That is a beautiful head sculpt. Great deco. Love the hair. We've got the little Yojo patch. Let's see if we can get that to kind of show a bit clearer. Sort of. But that's a really cool little patch. I love that. And then you flip it round and he's got the American flag on that side as well. The old stars and stripes, although that should be the Union Jack, shouldn't it? I'm just kidding. Let's start putting all his pistols in. So I'm guessing the longer pistol goes in the long pistol holster and the shorter pistol goes in the short pistol holster. Just guessing on that one. This is a phenomenal looking figure. I'm really impressed. I am genuinely impressed with this one. So there he is. He's got his pistols in. Brilliant stuff. Let's pop his helmet on, Kitty said, because again, that is the kind of like benchmark of General Hawk, isn't it? It's like that helmet is General Hawk. That's the transformation. Just kind of get, because obviously the goggles are also on the top of that, so I've got to get that kind of the right position. There we go. There he is. There he is, boys. There's your General Hawk, eh? There he be. I don't know what to do with his other goggles, because obviously he'll like have to wear them at some point, I guess, at some stage. And I'll definitely want to give him this. I think I'll give him the shotgun for now. And obviously in reality, it would just be one of the pistols in his hand, wouldn't it, as he's running into the battlefield, because he was a kind of crazy pants like that. I'll go to right in the battlefield with one pistol. There he is. There's our boy. There's the leader of the pack. I really love all of the intricate detail on the jacket as well. The Abernathy name and all of the different pins and everything. And if we move the secondary, he's hidden all of his medals. Look, A lot of them. It's got the Purina logo on it. I'm just kidding. That's that. Yeah, that Family Guy Star Wars sort of joke, isn't it? Now, I just want to look at some of these little details on the jacket because this is really fun. You know, I was talking about before, like that kind of that Velcro, not Velcro. That kind of like almost like the bottom of the jacket would always have that elasticated kind of band, wouldn't it, at the bottom? Same with the wrist cuffs as well. And that's something I really liked on those jackets. That kind of like almost like like a fleecy material, but then elasticated. Really awesome stuff, and all the pockets and all the zippers, the kind of like the fur on the interior, kind of folded out onto the collar and everything. It's really awesome. The belt's really nice as well. Lots of cool little pouches, nice little deco touches on the front. I didn't mean to touch his bits then. And then, of course, obviously the little extra strap that allows the pistol to kind of join the party as well. Captain Two Belts. He's a proper two belter. He's a 1-star general, but he's a two belter as well at the same time. Darren says, love the figure, but not happy with the colonel rank above the left breast pocket and the American flag on the wrong arm. Fair enough, Darren. This is not real, though, don't forget. This is G.I. Joe. I think they meant Hawk not believing Duke in the current Energon series. Oh, right. Right. I see what you mean. When you were talking about him not believing Duke. Yeah. Well, let's face it. It's not that they weren't like, I'm pretty sure that Hawk, if we're talking the Energon, I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, so I won't say anything. But I think in that sense, yeah, there's a lot of gamesmanship going on. So did he used to bleach his hair when he was a colonel? Eduardo says he would have had to, wouldn't he? Because all of a sudden he's got grey coming through his original roots now. Maybe he dyed his hair to be a 1-star general, and the grey that's coming through is actually the blonde. The figure is so good. In the past, I was met on Hawk, and now this is one of my fave Joe figs, says Paul. You see, I think not having him as a kid made me want him really bad. And then, we'd still see him. He'd be in so many of the episodes, and I don't know. I was just like, I was really vibing on this particular version of the figure, and wish I'd been able to get him as a kid. I feel like I missed out. There's a few figures like that though. There's like Ripper. I felt I missed out on him as a kid, and that was my own fault because I had an opportunity to buy him and decided to get the Dreadnought Battle Axe motorized backpack instead because I know I'm an idiot. But that's what happened. And there's no, like, I've got a feeling that time travel exists, right? And at some point, when I realized that, I end up with the ability to go back. And there's an actual reason why I end up choosing that is because I go back and tell myself it's funnier for the show if you buy that and then you have a little story to tell. Anyway, here he is with his kind of like launcher, his little rocket launcher. Pum pum pum, and the old strap as well. Pretty cool. He looks great, doesn't he? This is I don't know. This is just an absolute home run for me. Yo, Joe, says Paul, how you doing? Put the small goggles on backwards under the helmet. I do that with my Dusty, yeah, but I didn't. I was kind of the helmet fits, so I didn't know that was an option. Especially when with Dusty, it's like you have to do that in order to have the helmet fit. If that is the case, though, I do like this, and also look how much this makes him look like version 4. I think it's version 4, the 91, the 91 Hawk with headband. I'm just kidding. The 91 Hawk with the rocket back jetpack. So there's the smaller goggles on, and lo and behold, will the helmet fit on? Not only does it fit on, it fits on like way better. That's brilliant. Okay, so we've got another Dusty maneuver then, basically, haven't we? But in this case, the Cybertronian technology of the Classified series has allowed him to have a pretty secure helmet without goggles underneath, and a very secure helmet with goggles underneath. That's impressive. It's got real. I love this figure. He's perfect to me. I know not technically real life perfect in that sense, Darren. Um, but you know, in terms of like just immense satisfaction, design, um, you know, load like he doesn't need loads of accessories either. And I mean, the figure alone just screams respect to me. Like this guy, he's got that kind of Winters vibe, Band of Brothers, doesn't he? He's got that kind of like gravitas without having to do anything. That kind of leadership gravitas, that kind of like aura. Um, just absolutely love him. Love him. I couldn't be happier, and I'm blown away. But there's loads of stuff that the camera doesn't exactly quite show, like just how awesome the deck on the jacket is. Like it's got this. I don't know how they've done it, but it's like, you know, it might just be that it's one color and the texture and the design and the folds kind of make it, but it feels like there's like darker colors on there too. Like it's almost like a mixture to create like a leathery texture. Like look at that pocket. You see how like the darker bits, there's like darker pet shades and patches and stuff on it. It really is beautifully done. And like I said, it doesn't do it justice on camera, because like when the light shines on it, it really just brings out the one kind of brown color. But there's a real interesting effect they've used on there, and it just looks great, like some sort of wash, but not really. Um, General Hawk is a phenomenal figure. He was definitely worth the wait. Absolutely. I think Hawk became a brunette because he's one of Cobra's synthesis. Oh yeah, the old what they called synthoids, with a faulty hair color, but the Joe's never questioned it because it's such a weird thing to bring up with your CO, isn't it, Ryan? Yeah. Sir, why have you got different hair color now? Drop and give me 20. Okay. On his left chest, I believe that's flight wings. On his left chest, above the medals. Interesting. Okay. Um, he quit applying his Just for Men once he hit Brigadier General. That is so true, Darren. That is so true. Um, he's got such a yeah, this is a great figure. I would put it on screen, but I'm too busy enjoying the figure. Um, James says he's an exceptional figure, traditional with a touch of an update. Good shout, actually. Jason Evans, hello, Chris. New guy here. Really enjoying your channel and Facebook page. Excited to finally catch a live show. Well, thanks very much, Jason, for joining. Hope you're having fun with me just basically gushing, Kitty said, all over Hawk, Kitty said. My favorite Hawk moment in the cartoon was when he held off the Cobra forces so Falcon, Jinx, and Slaughter could storm the throne room. Yes, of course. Like, I mean, people forget the kind of sacrifices he made in all of the battles. But yeah, he was definitely massively important in the film. Um, really digging the patches in the last few waves. General Hawk, Tunnel Rat, Wool Spider, Big Ben. Would be cool if Hasbro would sell Velcro 3/4 inch size style to collect or put on t-shirts. Oh, yeah, actually, that would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Little patches that coincide with the figure. You know, like, I mean, that is something that would have happened back in the day, wouldn't it? You'd have had um either a mail away. We got them with mail away special core. We had like a little material patch, special core patch. Um you mean Major Winters has a Hawk vibe? Yes. Yes, correct, Ryan. Yeah. Um, um but yeah, I think like coming back to Johnny's point about the little Velcro patches, it would have been like that would have been something as like kids, like if we, you know, how you get like sometimes you get stickers with figures, or you'd get collector cards, or the same, or you'd get like promotional things. And like I said, we had mail away patches multiple times, and I think like now it would have been nice to have a patch come with a figure. If you're going to get a mini action figure with the Sarge, why couldn't you get like why can't they just, you know, make a patch and throw it in with like a figure like Hawk, who is a standard retail figure, throw in a little patch. It'd be so cute and cool and fun, and we'd be able to stick it on our hats or our, that's not our hats, on our hats or on our clothing. It'd be so much fun. And again, I know I'm what, like 40 something. What year is it? I'm 43. I think. What year is it? 2024. Yeah. So yeah, it's February 2024. Yeah, I forgot how old I was. Um, yes, Hawk, the general pattern of GI Joe. We need a blonde repaint with Grunt's two rifles. Yes, Jeremy, we do. I feel like Hawk, Stalker, and Grunt are quintessential GI Joe classified figures. They are the ones I would show someone new to the line, says Jamie Lynn. I have to agree with you on Hawk and Grunt. Stalker, I love Stalker, but for some reason, it's just his knees are a little bit loose. So I would probably show them out back because again that's personal preference, but I think he's a heavy hitter as well, like visually, and he just looks awesome. Opening my Hawk along with you, top 2023 figure, perfect 10 out of 10, even without the gold gun. Absolutely, McMurphy, absolutely. It is definitely not Flight Wings. It is a Colonel rank insignia. That's the one on top of the medal stash, is it? Okay, cool. I want to look at Colonel rank insignia. Like to me, it kind of screams that he just kept it because of because he used to be a colonel. Like in the GI Joe lore, it'd be kind of like a feeling of knowing where you've come from, sort of thing. Another thing I didn't mention before is the detail of the undershirt under the jacket with the little stars on the collar. How awesome is that? I didn't even notice that until I was looking at the Colonel insignia. That is freaking awesome. Little kind of off-white, kind of grey undershirt vibe. Oh, now I want Hawk without the jacket. I just want to see what that shirt looks like. Just underpants and socks. I'm just kidding. No, I would like to see a Hawk version with that shirt just showing because that looks awesome. He's got his gloves on as well. I didn't show you those before either, but they're kind of definitely the kind of like your leather driving gloves kind of style. Oh, he's so good. This is the I'm so happy I left this one till almost last. Nunchuck's going to be the one I open like next. But I'm so happy I sort of kind of savored this one in a big way. Yeah, this is a great figure. Interesting. Sorry, I'm getting too into it. This is brilliant. What else are we saying in the thing? I just opened mine too. Jamie Lynn says, "Oh, wicked! Full force morning, everyone." Says Robert. Where are you, Robert? I always forget. You're gonna have to. I might be able to work it out actually. What time is it now? It's 7. It depends how early in the morning it is for you, but you could be like on the other side of the world effectively right now. Wilfredo says Velcro patches would be cool AF. Absolutely. Chris, how many figures do you have left to open from 2023? I'm curious who you would say your top 5 2023 classified figures are. So I've only got Nunchuck left, but then I don't have the 3-pack, the Crimson 3-pack. I don't have Steel Core, which is like a crying shame, actually. I don't have Mutton Junkyard. I don't have Buzzer. I don't have Ripper. And there's a couple others, I think. I have a list somewhere. I think I wrote it down. And I know you don't mind me. I don't mind waiting until I find it. Like you have a choice right now. I thought I'd written them down. Maybe I did not. Maybe if I write Ripper in my search bar, it'll find. Yeah, there it is. Right. So I don't have Ripper, Mutton Junkyard. Obviously. Oh, hang on. There's loads I don't. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Crimson 3-pack, Steel Core 2-pack, the Fire Team 3-pack. I don't have either. I don't have any of those. Shadow Tracker, Night Force Tunnel Rat, Wolf Spider, the latest Python Patrol, so Copperhead, Officer version 2.0, Televiper Trouble Bubble, Buzzer Ripper, Mutton Junkyard. And then obviously I don't have Metalhead, Big Boa, Airborne, Quick Kick, Techno Viper, Action Soldier, Action Sailor, Retro Duke, Retro Scarlet, Retro Recondo, Vamp and Clutch, etc., etc. I don't have any of those either, but why would I? They're not out yet, technically. So there's a lot I don't have, actually. I'll be working on it. I'll slowly work on it, trust me. But in terms of 2023, we kind of did this. I think we did talk about our favorite stuff of 2023 on the monthly, the New Year's Day one. But just to give you a real idea of what my favorite are in 2023, probably Big Ben. I actually did this as well with Adam for Highly Articulated, and I can't remember what I chose now. I think Snow Job was in there because that was a really good one, but I'm not even sure if that was 2023. I think it was. And he'll have to remind me what I chose, but it's been so long. It's been like a month since then, so I can't remember. But General Hawk's up there. Grunt is up there, and when I say up there, I mean up on the list, not Kitty said wise. And I'll throw Big Ben in there. I think Big Ben, General Hawk, and Grunt are now my favorite of 2023. I still remember having an Iron on Steel Brigade patch. I'm not sure how I got it. Mail-in, maybe? Yes, Death Valley Machine. If it was a US Steel Brigade patch, you'd have got it when you got the figure, mail away figure. I came at a private time, looks like. Yeah, he kind of did, Ray. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, my. You may have covered it, but Hawk has different shoulders. They swing up more at the butterfly. Hi, it's me. Yeah, I was actually, they are a bit different, aren't they? Mine's got a little bit of a wobbly bit inside there as well, but yeah, that's quite interesting. But there's a lot more going on there in terms of articulation. That is a good point, actually. I wonder if that's on any of the other figures, because there's like movement everywhere on this thing. Like there's an up and down movement on those elbows, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that is kind of interesting. And yeah, those things kind of wobble around inside. But he gets in like solid positions too. Like they stay. They don't like they don't move around or anything. They're really good. I need Globulus yesterday, says Neil. Oh, don't we all? Let's get Nemesis Immortal out of the way first, shall we? Yeah, I have a feeling it was left because he was a colonel before, or maybe they thought the bird was a hawk, but it's an eagle. I'm always going to be a stickler when it comes to military regs, and you can't wear two ranks. Totally get it, but again, it ain't real. Ripper is just as perfect as Hawk. Yeah, Ripper seems amazing. Like, I can't wait to get that one. Anyone else still waiting for this from Pulse UK? Not me, but there might be people in the chat, Mr. Drake, if that is the case. I need that mutton junk in my life. I do. You really liked Grunt. I did, McMurphy. I thought Grunt was amazing. And like was like a what do you call it? Like a flew under the radar, like totally underrated or not expected to be good. I wasn't expecting to be great. And then I get Grunt out, and it's like, actually, this is phenomenal. This one I just expected to be great from seeing the images and the pictures and everything. But I'm so happy he's exactly what I expected him to be, and more in actual fact. Darren says, I believe the hiss was one of your picks. Yeah, I'm in terms of figures though. But yeah, I think I did choose the hiss, didn't I, as like a favorite of mine. Snowjob is still very much my bonkers amazing figure for 2023. Snowjob's great, actually, Neil, isn't he? That backpack, so much like functionality and enjoyment in it. Yeah, it's just brilliant. I like Nightforce Tunnel Rat better. Fireteam is really good as well. Nice one, Derek. Yeah, like the Nightforce Tunnel Rat. I know there's that whole thing of like they got the pants the wrong way around. They should have had the black pants on the first version and the lighter pants on the on the Nightforce version, but switch the bottom halves around probably, and you get away with it, don't you? It's just the belt, I think, might throw it off a bit. Yeah, some people call it drop-down shoulders. The trim pieces inside are free floating. I think Mole Rats had that type of shoulder as well. I didn't notice Future Fortress on the Mole Rat, but this actually is really good, and it's like it's impressive at the level of articulation. You can kind of get him into good poses. He could hold those. I didn't even really realize it, but he held that rifle a minute ago really well. Like I didn't have to do much, and he was like already in position to kind of hold the rifle with two hands. So yeah, that's all good. Again, like I'm just trying it with the other rifle actually. Actually, maybe if I hold this rifle like this, it might warp it back into a regular position. It's getting the bloody fingers around it. Does anyone else struggle with getting fingers around the barrel? Kitty said. There we go. Yeah, it's really good. Like I like this new range of motion that he's got. He's so good, isn't he? I just love this figure. So this is leading the pack for me now. I think though, I genuinely think like I'm one of those people like I open the next thing I open becomes my favorite thing. I've always been like that. I've always been a bit like, oh, it's new, it's shiny, that's my new favorite thing. I feel like I'm going to be in love with the steel core figures, and I genuinely want that set. But it's like one of those things where I just have to be, we're having to be kind of careful. Just bought a house and all that kind of stuff, so you're in a position where you have to like, you have to make some sacrifices. And in this case, that's what I've been doing, and it's just set me back a little bit in terms of the collecting. But it's what you have to do sometimes. Will we get a redeco of Big Ben, and was there ever a snow deco for him? Hi, it's me. So the first question, will we get a redeco of Big Ben, is probably, if not reuse, right? Reuse of a multiple, or if not all, or if not, most parts. If we don't get a full-on repaint of him. 2, was there ever snow deco? There certainly was a snow deco of him. He there's a few redecos of Big Ben, because he got the treatment back in like the early 2000s, late 90s of we've got the mold, let's keep repainting it. There's an interesting kind of like burnt orange kind of brown deco. There's a winter deco, like kind of like all basically kind of like lots of different kind of elements of kind of the winter operations colors. So yeah, he's definitely had great opportunities for that, and I think we'll see him again. I do. Ed says, I want to grab some exposed hands for my hawk. The only thing I don't like about this figure is the gloves. Really? Why don't you like the gloves? I think he looks really good. I quite like the gloves. Cool figure. I'm not a fan of his character. Agent 369, what has he done that you don't like? In what? Also, I mean, you say his character. Are we talking A Real American Hero comics? Are we talking Sunbow? Are we talking every iteration of his character? What don't you like about him? I think he's amazing. G.I. Joe is different. We have all the branches best working under special conditions. This is why they get away with beards and displaying more than one rank. I guess, Eduardo, yeah. Tripwire is high. Oh, Tripwire, of course, Mike. Tripwire was obviously on my top 3. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, Tripwire, Hawk, Grunt was great. It's between Grunt and Snowjob, I think. It's between Grunt and Snowjob, I think. And I'll probably have to give it to Snowjob because of just the amount of cool stuff he comes with and the options, and the figure's phenomenal. But Grunt was really good, and I feel like he's at least an honorable mention. But Tripwire has to go in the top 3, 100%. 100%. And Big Ben as well, was great. Range Viper was great. Yeah. Python Patrol Cobra Officer window version hitting Ross. Picked up 9 today. Wow, Chaz. That's a lot. That's the new one, right? When you say window version, or the old one? Was it the old one? Did the old one have a window? I can't remember. It's had so many different packaging. I don't know. Can't remember disliking a single Castlevania figure that I bought last year. Oh, it's the same. Steel core are really good. I have them hanging from the ceiling. That's dark, Derek. Oh, you mean like on their jetpacks? I get it. Darth says, very nice top 5, Chris. I really like Big Ben too. 2023 was so chock full of classified goodness that it makes it almost impossible to narrow it down to just 5. So many home runs and absolute bangers, definitely. He has a fun loadout. I prefer the grenade launcher, as in my head, it's a massive step down from the MMS, but still blows stuff up. I like that thinking, Jeremy. They need to give us a new Falcon with 2 heads so we can fix our current Falcon. Agreed. The White Deco Big Ben is one of my favorite figures. It's a beauty, isn't it? Death Valley Machine. Howdy, Flaffle. Chaz says General Hawk is elderly and at risk for COVID, so the gloves make sense. Yeah, yeah, he's elderly. What is he like? He's got to be in his 50s, hasn't he? Elderly. I'm joking because I'm 43, so I'm just kidding. I gave my Hawk a spare set of Chuckles hands as an alternate pair of ungloved hands. Excuse me. That wasn't actually. I'm not yawning at that comment. That's actually a good idea. I'm going to try that, Darth. Actually, myself, they fit perfectly. You say. Oh, McMurphy says, went to Quentin Tarantino's new coffee shop in Hollywood and they serve cereal as well. They have a display of vintage cereals, one of which is the G.I. Joe Action Stars box from 1985. Was fun to see. That's awesome. McMurphy, if you can, did you take a picture? If you took a picture of that, could you send it like to the Full Force Facebook page? I want to see it in the wild. If you took a picture, if not, obviously don't worry. But please, yeah, send it to us in whatever fashion you can, because I'd love to see that. We are boring, Chris, says FC Viper. No, you're not. You're all great. Anyway, I'll put it on Twitter. Thank you, McMurphy. Appreciate that. So yeah, General Bloomin' Hawk, Clayton M. Abernathy, or James M. Abernathy, if you're from the UK. Yes, James in the International Heroes. So I like James. I'm gonna call him James from now on. Yeah, I think he's amazing. I am like full on. This is my favorite so far of all of the ones I've looked at recently. I would say let me know in the comments what you think, but you have been doing that. I feel old. Geriatric even, says Craig. Geriatric. I like that. It's like geriatric, but for Joes. Let's get him in like I'm getting in like a cool running with a weapon pose, which is naughty. They shouldn't be. They can, obviously. They're in the military. I have definitely got some tightness that I'm not gonna try and do it now. But his lower knee joint, just underneath here, I haven't been able to get either of those to flex up. And I have. I just had to give it a tiny bit of juice, and it went round. And now he's in like a proper Duke on the front of the Panini sticker album running pose. You know what I'm talking about. If you know. Let's get that back down to there. Nice. Yeah, this is an extremely good figure. I'm just getting the other leg warmed up as well. There you go. It's a really, I don't know, I'm just really impressed. Super impressed with this one. Loads of articulation too. Like you've got the boot cut twist. You've got obviously the usual classic all the way around ankle articulation, which is like Cybertronian technology style. You got the double jointed knees. You got the twist at the hip. Of course, you've got the drop hips and all of the movement in there. It's just, I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before on figures and stuff. But there's just something very satisfying about this figure. I love it. Brigadier General is attainable by mid to late 30s, especially if you're high speed enough to be commanding a special forces unit. Thank you, Darren. I like all this extra like color that you put in there, because not just that, but it kind of gives you an idea of what ages they're sort of supposed to be in this weird universe. I would say, yeah, I could see him being like mid 30s all the way up to like mid 40s. That's where I see Hawk, even though I don't think that's old at all, because I am that age. But it's like he seems way more mature than I am. Way more capable. So I feel like he has to be older. You know what I mean? It's just a weird kind of thing, that, isn't it? My favorite Hawk line is from Arise Spencer Arise, when he tells the other Joes that they won't run over the rude French politician because they aren't Cobra, even if it's clear he wants to. Yeah. And he gets them to turn the tank. That's a proper Tiananmen Square sort of moment, isn't it? When all the tanks are coming through Paris, and yeah, the mayor's there, and he's basically telling them, you can't come any closer. You're destroying our roads. And he's just like, Okay, I forget the exact quote, but I had it then for a second. But we're not, so we won't. It's like that base, isn't it? It's like if we were a cobra, we'd run him over, but we're not, so we won't. It's like that. That's kind of like the cadence he uses. It's brilliant. I bloody love the cartoon. Honestly, we will all probably get some cereal with Starduster this year. Let's hope so, Flaffle. Eh? Awesome figure. Love how Hawk came out. Says Danny. Agreed. Like this is perfection for me. Like, oh, it's so good. Python Patrol Officer, Old Window, Trooper, Plastic Free. Thank you, hi, it's me. Appreciate that. Do you think General Hawk was supposed to be a Dragonfly tier that was switched out last minute, or was he always going to be part of a regular wave? Chaz, I can answer this question on multiple levels. There was supposed to be another tier, not another tier, but a tier that another figure in place of Crazy Legs, but it wasn't General Hawk, and General Hawk was never planned to be in the Dragonfly HasLab tiers. It was the Steel Core Commander, is what they were going to do with that spot, and they decided against that because I suppose because of like responses and like fan feedback as they were going with the tiers and everything. And I think following Glenda, they wanted something a little bit more kind of heavy hitting for collectors to kind of be jazzed about. Not saying that the Steel Core Commander wouldn't have been awesome. Goldhead, basically the Goldhead purple Steel Core Commander. But that was the original plan, and that's why we got that kind of last minute switch with last minute. You know what I mean? That sketch switch for Crazy Legs, the kind of sort of the last minute. But no, he wasn't. He was never supposed to. He was always going to be, as far as I'm aware, and on the line plan that we've had for a long time. Hawk was part of that line plan for a wave. Figure looks great, but I'm only purchasing Cobras. They are my favorite since I was a kid. Plus, I also save money that way. And we all have different collecting habits, FC Viper, and that's actually a good one to kind of be involved to have. Although you are putting yourself definitely in the army building category there, aren't you? Do you army build just out of interest? I don't think they would lock a main character behind ASLab tier, no. And he was never going to be. Like I said, it was going to be a Steel Core Commander. It's not even rumored. That's what it was, Flaffle. And again, like I say it with, almost a confirmation of that particular outcome, or not outcome, as it was. My cousin in army is one step away from 1 star. We'll get it by 40. They tell him if he re-ups again. Chris, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, we'll just say he's 40 years old. Can we say that? I'm gonna also sorry, Jamie Lynn sent me a message in the background. You haven't sent me the image yet, but I'll check it out in a sec to see what you're getting at there, Jamie Lynn. Well, yes, I have seen that before. That is I think Paige Wagner, actually. Shout out to the Wag Bros. Sorry, Jamie Lynn's just sent me an image of a hat that I have seen before. This is a G.I. Joe Special Forces hat. Do you guys remember this one? This was can't remember what year now, but yeah, shout out to Paige Wagner and the Wag Bros, basically. You can find Paige on Twitter. He's got an amazing, well, him and his brother have got an amazing collection of G.I. Joe stuff, including, I think they've posted that hat very recently as well. Maybe early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, that's amazing, that hat. I love it. What else have we seen? Just hit 50, I reckon. Version 1 is just 40. Diecast Nick. I'm going to say he was Colonel in his mid-30s, and he got first star at 40 years old. I know we all have different head canon. It's totally fine. And you're saying 50, Nick, and that's totally cool, mate. T Square was in 89, though. Tiananmen Square. I see what you're saying. Oh, I see what you're saying, Barking Fridge. Maybe that wasn't Tiananmen Square then, because I'm pretty sure that tank guy situation happened prior to Arise Serpentor Arise. I'm gonna have to double check on that, but I will work it out. I asked Larry Hammer a few years ago how old the Joes would be today, and he gave a good laugh saying they would be in their 70s. It's so true. So true. I think it would have hit all tiers even if they put Ice Cream Soldier in there. Totally. The Dragonfly was amazing, and I'm so excited to get that in. Like seriously. Jamie, this is Has. Sorry, didn't mean to distract you. Not at all, mate. It's fine. It's just, but the thing is, I have to keep an eye on what's going on elsewhere. And if someone sends me something, I want to make sure I'm on top of it. I love the Hawk figure, but I had to give him a classic Colt 1911 and a revolver as his sidearms. Totally fine, Frank, with that one. Going by what we know, it looks like we will be getting less figures than last year, right? Chaz says, no, no, not even close. We don't have all of the information. So all of the info that's out is just the information that we have available. It's like there is so much more in 2024 that we just don't have the information for. So only by the information that we know are we having less, but it's not really the case. Plus, don't forget, last year was an anomaly because they forced what would have been the prior year's product into there as well. So they kind of crushed everything into last year. So that there was a huge amount of product, especially towards the end of the year. But anyway, yeah. That is a very Chris hat right there, says Shark Eyes. It is, isn't it? I like ridiculous hats. Tiananmen Square was June 1989. Yeah, I don't think it was Tiananmen Square, was it? I might be. I think the tank guy was another time, but it just felt too obvious. It felt like an homage that Arise Serpentor Arise was doing, but I've never thought about checking the dates before on when that tank guy thing happened and when Arise happened. But I felt like I knew that as a kid, and I noticed the homage when I watched the show, when I watched the episode. But then again, I saw it a couple of years later as well. Don't forget, I would have seen it a year later, so I might be confused in that they kind of merged together a little bit, even though in the US it came out a year or maybe 2 years prior, because we didn't get the VHS tapes until later. You would have got it syndicated, then it would have gone to VHS, then we would have got it on VHS. So it's a bit of a stretch. Chaz, I bet we get the same amount or more than last year. It will be around about what we got last year with the addition of vehicles, like big ones. So it's going to be a lot of stuff still. I'm shocked that the SMS hasn't already been released closer to the Hiss tank accessory for it, but now I'm starting to wonder if they are delaying it so Hasbro can link it to the Stinger. That's a good shout, Flaffle. But I think it's just they're always meant to have it come out for February. Maybe they thought maybe they were going to do it with the Vamp last year and thought, no, it's too much. We're forcing too much into a small space. Let's spread it out a little bit. Cool. We've definitely got that. Tankman happened June 5th, 1989. Arise Spencer Arise aired in 1986. That's amazing. Can you believe that? That is a proper Simpsons prediction thing, isn't it? Like, that is nuts. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And again, I would have seen Arise Spencer Arise in 88. And then, so it would, like I said, it's closer to that time thing. But, and I would have seen the Tiananmen Square situation, right, later, and then just thought that they were homaging that. And that's what's happened in my head over the years. Isn't that absolutely crazy to think that that is such a coincidence? Anyway, I want to see this Battle Ready Hawk get into the battle in Duke Energon universe. Yes, definitely. It's more product this year, it seems, and Yojo June hasn't even come around yet. Let's not forget, yes, Ray, there is a huge amount of stuff around Yojo June to come. That's for sure. G.I. Joe totally predicted the future. Not even kidding, Darth. I'm pretty sure they've done that. Do you think in a couple of years we might see the hovercraft as a HasLab? Whale. That might be a little bit too big, but yeah, I think I'm going to have to say, yeah, I think it's going to have to happen at some point. I think it has to. Like, you have to keep getting more and more ridiculous with it, don't you? Although I say that, if you look at the Transformers ones, this one that's recent is, a decent offering, and they've sold it like that. but and unlocked another tier, I think today or yesterday. But they have kind of gone to it. They kind of took a step back a little bit, didn't they? And did an offering that kind of like has multiple things in it, but like not isn't something ridiculously huge, like a Unicron, for example. So I wonder if it's one of those things where we'll get big things and then they'll be like, okay, let's wind it down a bit. Let's do some sort of like, multiple collection of items sort of vibe for classified. I think the collection items works way more effectively for classified than it would do for O-ring. O-ring is where you can do something big and stupid and have it work with lots of lots of figures. Whereas with classified, you want to do like multiple things that are like a together that create like a big thing, if you know what I mean. I think that makes more sense to me than a collection of items with lots of figures and lots of this and lots of that would make a lot more sense for classified based on the size you're dealing with. Anyway, that's irrelevant, I guess. Bit of a Mandela effect there, Barking Fridge, but I think it's more that I think it is a Mandela effect in that sense, where I thought that one was homaging the other, and it wasn't the case. Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors, indeed. They need to do modular sets with figures and slowly build out the first base release. That would be kind of cool, Jay. Robert Bryans. That would be really cool, actually. Start a Christmas account. I mean, a Yojo June account at the bank. Why is someone honking outside my house? Yeah, we might have to start a blooming Yojo June account. There's definitely a sweet spot with HasLabs, but I would love to see them try a whale just to see the response. I think it would be amazing and it would be brilliant and it would be huge and ridiculous. But I think it's doable. And it's really just about what people are willing to pay and store, really, at the end of the day. I don't think Checkpoint Alpha has to be a HasLab, Carl. I think Checkpoint Alpha could be, even if it was a little bit more updated and a bit cooler, I think that could just be a regular release, honestly. Chris, do you think we get the pre-order and release for Retro CC in late 2024 or early 2025? All 2024 for all the retro that we're aware of, apart from Pinky Brain and Elmira listings. Everything else is 2024 FC Viper. So Cobra Commander, you just want me to slip up and say the two, don't you? Cobra Commander, Eels, Snow Serpent, Beachhead. What was the other one that we know about? Oh, the other two we don't, do we? Azrael and Oki, that we don't know. But yeah, they're all for 2024, apparently. There's definitely a sweet spot with HasLabs, but I would love to see them try a whale. Just said that. Sorry, Future Fortress. I'll just read that out again. HasLab Battle Force 2000 confirmed. Amazing Viper Scout. I love that you got that from what I said. Also, I wasn't trying to sneak anything out. I never know what the HasLabs are. I know that certain things have been like worked on after the fact, or certain things have been in the work, like they've costed them out, or they've developed them to some extent. But I don't know. Like when the His Tank came out, it was I think I might have known about the His Tank, but that was mainly because we had an inkling and we didn't know for sure. And then obviously they dropped that teaser with the sound of a tank sort of thing, and it was a bit obvious at that point. Everyone with all the things they were kicking out were making it obvious. The Dragonfly we only knew because of that ridiculous drama that kicked off. Oh my goodness me, that was the only reason we knew about that. And then that was really cool because Hasbro did a bait and switch. They made everyone think that was off the cards and off the table, and then just dropped it anyway. And everyone was like, "Oh, it's not going to be the Dragonfly after what just happened." And lo and behold, it was. What do you think about the bigger vehicle drivers like Ace and Cutter? Do you think they'll ever release just the figures for them? It depends, Danny. Like I said, if I think if they did the whale, for example, for the HasLab, then Cutter would be there. It'd be great. Ace might be a bit of a stretch because that Sky Striker would be huge, and also it would be. I mean, it would be amazing, wouldn't it? I think that would be one that people would really like, but also it would be gigantic. Like it would be ridiculously sized. So I think Ace might be one that you'd end up getting as a single kind of figure. Or they give him a smaller jet and we get some sort of I'd expect to get Slipstream if they did the X30, but you never know. They could, if they did the X30, right, for example, as a HasLab, which I think is possible because it's a smaller jet. Slipstream could be the pilot, and Ace could be a co-pilot. I know that would be, yeah, as in a tier pilot. Um, yeah, so I think maybe there's that option. It's hard to say though. I would hold off on doing Ace at all until they knew for a fact that you're not doing the vehicle. I like that they're keeping prices down in HasLab by requiring more buy-in. Yeah, the Hiss and Dragonfly have been really incredible value, honestly. Speaking of the Sumbo series predictions rumors, I love how the primordial plot episode predates Crichton's Jurassic Park. That's the best one, Paul. I remember talking about that with Pat, I think, and how mind blown we were about how that was way before Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park, and it was almost like it was very close in terms of its like idea, and I thought it was great. Like they were getting the bones, weren't they? But they were getting DNA from the bones, which was really cool. Like such a great like idea for just like just like a kid's cartoon. Yes, need that IG Bat moment again. It's not going to happen. I hope. Well, it might do actually. I am pretty bad at that. I always thought an Arctic collection for HasLab would work. Snowcat, Ice Wolf, or Arctic Hiss, and some Winter Gear characters. Yeah, Mike, I still think if you're doing an Arctic Hiss, that's big enough on its own. So I think you have to think smaller vehicles but collected as opposed to another Hiss tank, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I would love the snow wolf would be amazing, actually. I'd love to see that. Cutter would always come with a smaller water, could always come with a smaller water vehicle like a Devilfish or NLC. That's true, Paul. I wonder if Hasbro ever thought of doing a G.I. Joe Collectors Club subscription service, monthly fee, monthly figure, Pulse Premium included. Don't know actually. I don't know if they have thought of that. I wonder it must have crossed that. They must have had a discussion about things like that because like figure subscription services is something we've been doing for years with the club. And it would be a nice way to get some like other random collector characters done, wouldn't it? Like things that you'd never really probably see in the main line. I need a classified hardtop just so I won't lose his mic. Sky Striker would be near Unicron price. It would be huge and it would be expensive. Just give us Ace. Ramen Toys will give us the F-14. Oh my God, could you imagine? Do you think they're going to do a? Do you think they'd do? Do you think Ramen Toys would do that, Jim? That would be crazy. Maybe Ace with a Skyhawk, even though it didn't come with it originally. Yeah, Skyhawk, I see that more of like a lift ticket option. Although again, I would give all of my limbs for a classified Tomahawk Eaglehawk. I want a hovercraft HasLab or a Rattler. Jedi Ben. Skyhawk with Ace. Possibility will, yep. Do vehicle driver packs for the vehicles that we know won't get made. Yeah, that would work as well. Just do like 2 packs kind of thing. Thoughts for the price range for the HasLab Rattler? If it is that, probably, I don't know, 300 and something. Don't know exactly, but if I was to guess, it would be in that range. I don't think it would be crazy much. I don't think they'd do anything really expensive on it. I don't think you've got to kind of keep it. You've got to keep it as close to what we've had already as possible. I think Tomahawk with folding rotor blades to save shelf space. Indeed, we need a polar battle bear for snow job. Yes, I would have a polar battle bear come out with Iceberg or Blizzard. Probably Iceberg because he doesn't have a lot of accessories anyway, and you could then have snow job come. You could utilize the battle bear then. Crichton was developing Jurassic Park for about a decade before he published the novel, says Ryan. Yeah, but you never know, Ryan. He could quite easily he'd been tipped over the edge for the actual storyline when he saw Primordial Plot, which obviously, like famously, he was a huge G.I. Joe Sunbow fan. It's obvious. Yeah, I think we all know that, but it's just fun that like lots of G.I. Joe things happen, and then years later, these other things come out. And it's like that's happened so many times, oddly enough. And G.I. Joe was massive back in the day. People forget this sometimes that G.I. Joe was huge and hugely popular. People loved it. Kids loved it, and it was very, very, very profitable. So it wouldn't surprise me if a few of those ideas that were in some of the stories like helped, in some places, you know, drive some other aspects. And I think not necessarily Jurassic Park, but almost like certainly other things don't spring to mind right at the moment, but there are other things that have happened in popular culture that I would say have had a lot of inspiration from Joe. I just had a thought of a Dreadnought stylized bat with a doom cycle for a knock troop builder. That sounds really cool, Carl. Actually, if they don't do Storm Rider, you say yeah, Storm Rider would be really good to do. Um, Jim says yes. I think Ramen Toys are nuts enough. Have you seen his Wolverine bridge layer combo he's doing? No, but that sounds incredible. Heights Me says just notices the Vamp has a wheel tread that matches the box art instead of the toy's actual wheel tread design. Interesting. Whale, please. I didn't know that. He got the scoop on the dino idea. Dreadnought bat, lol, grape soda cans, boombox built-in chest, trash can lower leg. I love that idea. Just like a mate, do it yourself sort of job. He got this, yeah. Can other toy companies like Super 7 make classified vehicles? Not really, or only Hasbro and HasLab. So Super 7 could make ultimate scale vehicles, but they'd be huge, and they're probably not going to do that. They will make obviously O-ring vehicles. There's no doubt about that. Mezco don't really do that sort of thing. I certainly don't think they do it for the GI Joe line that they have, and that doesn't really leave anyone else, does it? So I think Hasbro are pretty much they're the only one that's going to be doing the vehicles for the classified series, officially. Barking Fridge says CSI had an episode with Joe names and also one with Timber. That's cool. How many times have we seen things like the Vipers coming in popular culture? Oh, so many times. But like, I know there's an element of this as well that I think that deserves mentioning. If it's goes without saying, but obviously the Sunbow series is not the origin for a lot of the tropes, stereotypes, storylines. It's not like they started a lot of this stuff. They were taking from previous stories, previous things that have happened prior to the Sunbow series, like the writers and everything. So it's very likely that people took the same inspiration that GI Joe writers took from themselves, or used from themselves, rather than actually utilizing the GI Joe story, if you see what I mean. So they could have just you've been kind of like sparked or inspired by the same thing themselves, if that makes sense. So it's not one of those things where it's necessarily that GI Joe started it and everyone then followed suit. I'm not saying that either. It's just interesting to see sometimes those patterns emerge, and especially with the fact that Joe was really popular, it would have had a lot of eyes on it. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that some of those things might have ended up sparking the inspiration for certain things down the road. But again, like I said, inspiration comes from all over the place, and they would have been inspired in the first place. So those stories are like, timeless for the most part. No idea is original, and that was probably the case back in like 1950 something at that point. I can tell you, Larry Hama's writing and the writing in the Sunbow and Deke series have been a massive inspiration for me in my writing and creating, says J. Robert Bryans. Yes, indeed. For many of us, I think, for many people, a lot of inspiration. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this show if it wasn't for the amazing stories. Anyway, I'm going to bring it to a close there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for what is effectively a General Hawk unboxing, but also turned into just a conversation about literally everything at the end there. Is your arm getting tired from holding Hawk up yet? Honest, I didn't even notice what was holding him that high the whole time. I'm strong though, Darren. That's why I'm all muscles. Just message you pics and links of the digital renders. Let me see what you're saying. Where did you message them out of interest? Obviously, there are multiple ways to contact the full force now. So I just want to make sure I see what you're saying. And you're talking about digital renders for... Oh, the ramen toys thing. Right. Thanks, James. Okay. Yeah. Oh, right. Yes. Oh, I have seen this. I just didn't. I didn't pay attention to what it actually was. You know, when you're kind of scrolling and you see stuff and you just think, oh, that's cool 3D print or whatever. I didn't realize it was the ramen toy bridge layer come Wolverine come Mobat. That's really cool. Yep, I'm into it. Thank you anyway, Jim. Appreciate that, mate. Hawk is going to look great barking orders out of the vamp. Yes, he is. I'm definitely going to be doing that. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to be back probably tomorrow, either with news burst stuff or Nunchuck. I would like to get into Nunchuck soon, so it depends what happens tomorrow. If more news pops out, if we get, obviously there's that kind of, like I said, that tiny little bit of movie news that popped out earlier, a little bit of comics news as well, but I don't want to give away any spoilers really. So we'll probably hold on to that for a little bit. But anyway, it's been great, and like I said, I'll probably see you tomorrow, no matter what, because it seems to be like you get live streams from me every single day ever. Yeah, so have a great rest of your President's Day, or depending on where you are in the world. Of course, just have a great rest of your day, or beginning to your day, or whatever it may be, whatever time it may be. Have a great time. How about that? Have a great time. Stay fresh, cheese bags, and as always, after 3, you know what to do. I should hope so by now, anyway. 1, 2, 3, full force. And Yo Joe. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Full Force. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.